Okay, guys, welcome. And we're going to take a look at this tune called The Preacher, which is going to be the first tune arranged for 3 and 4 horns. So I just want to go over a couple of basic things to get you thinking about what's the possibilities on this one. First thing I always look at is the form and see if there's form and style, see if there's any kind of changes that or alterations that we could make. This is a really simple form. It's 16 bars, basically repeated twice. So I guess you could just call it AA or whatever. It's a very simple tune, and I'm thinking that it probably can't be messed with too much. Although we could add a vocal, and I'll show you a vocal lead sheet that has a little bit of additions to the beginning and the end. So we could, I think what I'll probably do is add vocal to this and add it kind of along with the horns. So it'll be 50-50 horns and vocal. Not just a vocal tune, but kind of have the vocalist as an instrumentalist and just kind of take part in the tune. So I'll play the head for you in just a minute, but we want to consider that it's a pretty simple tune and there's not a bridge. So we're going to have to look at the repeated part having some interesting, variety in how you put the instruments together, how you couple them together. Remember, alto and tenor go well together. Trumpet and trombone go well together. But you could also have alto and trumpet on this melody. So as we get into that, you'll have to just kind of weigh how you want to do that to make it not sound monotonous. The other thing is, do we need an intro in this, or should we have an intro? Because on the recording, I can only find one recording, and that was Horace Silver. On the recording, they just jump right into the tune, and there is no intro. So I'm going to have to sit down at the piano and figure out if I want an intro. I'm thinking I do, but the problem with that is you've got the pickups, the first bar pickup, so you want to make it not sound, real rushed at the beginning to jump in on that first bar, picking up to the tune. As far as, we're going to have solos, obviously, but do we have interludes? Do we have interlude between the solos? Do we have backgrounds? There is some backgrounds on the recording, I believe, or at least a recording that I heard. There was a couple different ones that Horace that I listened to, but very well possibly could have some backgrounds. And do we have written solos? Usually I include one written solo, and then I use a section where people can mix it up, and there's an open section for solos. So if we have a vocalist, we could use that. Remember that I include the finale files and the Sibelius files, so you can kind of piece this together as you'd like and kind of make it so that it fits your groove as well. Now, the next thing I look at is harmony. How much can we change the harmony on this one? How much can we use substitutions and various, harmonic things to beef it up a little bit? Because this is such a simple tune, it's supposed to be like a preacher, obviously, religious kind of hymn. I forget what you call it, exactly the word for it, but you get what I mean, and it's real simple. So we're not going to be doing a lot of messing with the harmony on this one. It's kind of a tune that just kind of lays in the harmony that's there. However, we do have spots like in this area here where we can do internal changes in the voicings of the horns to basically have these lines. Everybody's going to have a moving line because maybe every eighth note will be a different chord, or at least a variation of a chord. For example, this A could actually be A minor 7 flat 5 voiced downwards, and then we could have this sharp 9 on D7. This would be D7 sharp 9. So you have a little 2-5, and well, it's kind of a 2-5 there. And then this G7, you notice the B flat comes down to A, but we could make this first one G plus 7 sharp 9 coming down to G13. So remember that when you have internal movement, the players like it. It sounds good. Going on to this F, this obviously does not fit a C7 chord, so we're going to make that a sus chord. We could have this a C, let's say a C9 sus or a C13 sus or whatever. And this C could be in unison. And then this one right here, this E, could be C7 flat 9, and then we get to F6. So we are going to be messing with this, or at least I'm going to be messing with some of these lines here. But I'll have to just play them through on the piano. Remember that a tune like this, you can't jam stuff in like a square peg in a round hole. It's not going to sound, it's going to sound weird. So you have to go with the style that you're given and then work with that and then use your judgment to do that. The other thing before I go, the last thing I thought of is maybe when this tune comes back after the solos, how about maybe some kind of Dixieland thing? We could have the saxes playing in like a coupled third here, and then we could have the trombone below that playing kind of a Dixieland thing, like similar to a bass line. And then we could have the trumpet player playing not too high, but just little riffs around that. So that's another thing that I thought of that could work on this one. So get your mind working. Be nice if you guys, did a little bit. You don't have to do the whole chart, but maybe just work on some stuff as we go along here and see what you can do. This is a real simple tune. We actually started with one of the most simple tunes I've done in the Combo Club. Well, there's been others, but this is for a 32 bar tune. This is pretty simple. So stay tuned, and we'll start to work on